For my envision project, I chose to focus on 4 key points. These points include incorporating dance and fine arts into the literacy classroom, circle time, acceptance and student-teacher relationship, as well as a term called Bubble Kids. These 4 points are very important to me. I envision my classroom to have all 4 of these concepts incorporated. The first point that I chose to complete research about was the implementation of fine arts and dancing in the literacy classroom. According to the research I found, it has been proven that movement and the arts help students be more successful in literacy. It gives the students different ways to interpret the reading and writing, as well as invites creativity into the classroom. By having dance and fine arts in your classroom, you give the students an opportunity to be creative and have some fun. Other ways that dance and fine arts contribute to the literacy classroom is by giving the students learning opportunities. These learning opportunities include comparison skills as well as genre knowledge. Students are able to use dance to interpret different books to compare, as well as different genres that are being read in the classroom. I will definitely implement this into my classroom. I will also use music throughout the day. That way, students will have opportunities to dance to transitions and move around to keep their bodies and brains working. The second point I decided to include is circle time. I believe circle time is a very important time. It allows students to feel comfortable and open about their learning. Circle time is a great time to introduce new books for read-alouds. I think read-alouds are very important. They are one of my favorite things to do. But sadly, I have not seen circle time or read-alouds implemented in any of my field placement experiences. By having read-alouds and circle time, you are able to model how books should be read. You are also able to introduce socially relevant books to your classroom through circle time. You can have a socially relevant read-aloud and then share thoughts and ideas through circle time. Introducing socially relevant books to students is a key aspect in the literacy program. By completing these kinds of activities, it develops a love for reading and writing. Students will also begin to look forward to circle time. The research that I completed states that circle time should always be fun and engaging for the students. The third point that I completed research on was the impact of important student-teacher relationships. Having good student-teacher relationships makes your students more successful in your classroom. When students feel like their teacher really cares about them, they are more prone to come and ask for help. They will also feel more comfortable in your classroom. If a student knows you care, they will be better students, both academically and emotionally. Teacher-student relationships are one of the most important aspects of being a teacher. By contributing to your students personally, you are able to make them better readers and writers. Students that feel loved and accepted are more likely to become better readers and writers than students that are in classrooms where teachers do not develop good student-teacher relationships. Student-teacher relationships will have a lasting impact on your students. Lastly, I chose something that I do not want in my classroom. During my field placement, I heard the term bubble kid quite often. I did not know what this meant until my teacher explained. Once I understood what was going on, I was appalled. I do not want this kind of thing happening in my classroom. I believe that every student should have a fair and equal shot at passing the STAR. But when using the bubble kid technique, only some of the students are being given a fair shot. Bubble kids are described as kids that are only a few bubbles away from passing, meaning that they only failed by a few questions. Therefore, the school puts most of their emphasis on these students while tutoring. These students get most of the focus. That means that students who are not bubble kids do not receive tutoring. Most parents do not know that this is being done. Therefore, if their student does not qualify as a bubble kid, then they will continue to fall behind. All in all, I hope my students have a love for learning, reading, and writing. I will also try my best to accommodate all of my students' needs. I will make sure that I implement dance, fine arts, and circle time into my classroom. I will also ensure that I create a comfortable and accepting classroom. I will create great student-teacher relationships and genuinely care about each and every one of my students.